Hello, good morning students. This is Azam here from Raji Desai Residential School, Golanheti. Today we are going to discuss the science first chapter, crop production and management. Here first we should know what is agricultural practices. Before that we want to know what is agriculture. Till 10,000 BC, people were nomadic. They were wandering in groups from place to place in search of food and shelter. They ate raw fruits and vegetables and started hunting animals for food. Later, they could cultivate land and produce rice, wheat, and other food crops. Thus was born agriculture. Means what is that? Till 10,000 BC, people were nomadic. They don't know how to cultivate the crops, how to grow the plants or the fruits and vegetables. Okay. Next is what is crop? See, when plants of the same kind are cultivated at one place on a large scale, it is called as crop. For example, crop of wheat means that the plants grown in a field are that of wheat. You already know that crops are of different types like cereals, vegetables and fruits. These can be classified on the basis of the season in which they grow. Despite the diversity, the broad cropping patterns can be identified. These are kharif crops and rabi crops. Means there are two types of crops, that is kharif crops and rabi crops. What is kharif crops? That crops that is grown or sown during the monsoon. Means during monsoon period the crops were sown. That is example paddy and maize. What about rabi crops? Rabi crops means that are sown after the monsoon. Now come to we'll discuss basic practices of crop production. You already know that because all of you came from the village background and agriculture background. First is preparation of soil and sowing and adding manures and fertilizers, then irrigation, then weeding, then harvesting, then threshing, then storage. These are the around 7 to 8 steps which is the basic practices of crop production. Now we will discuss one by one. First one is the preparation of soil. Here the preparation of soil is the first step before growing a crop. That is the most important task in agriculture. It is turned to the soil and loose it. This allows the roots to penetrate deep into the soil. The loose the soil helps in the growth of earthworms and microbes present in the soil. These organisms are friends of the farmer since they further turn and loosen the soil and add humus to it. Before growing the seeds, it is necessary to break the soil to the size of grains to get better yield. This is done with the help of various tools. The main tools used for this purpose are the plow, hoe and cultivator. Do you know what is plow? That is a large farming implement with one or more blades fixed in a frame used to turn over and cut furrows in soil is called plow. You can see here this is called as plow. Here the person which is fixed to two cattle, in between the two cattle, and he is used to turn the soil. That is the blades which is fixed to the turn the cut furrows in the soil. It is called plow, and plow may be made of only wood or wood and iron and of iron only. Means it is made up of only wood or wood with iron and of iron only. Plowshare, the main cutting blade of a plow. This is one. And next one is here the tool which is used for removing weeds, for loosening the soil, this is called as hoe. This is now nowadays plowing is done by a tractor, that is a driven cultivator. The use of cultivator saves the labor and time also. The next one is here sowing. Sowing is the most important part of crop production. Before sowing, good quality seeds are selected. Good quality seeds are clean and healthy seeds of a good variety. Farmers prefer to use seeds which give a high yield before sowing. One of the important tasks is to know about the tools used for sowing seeds. This is the traditional method of sowing, and this one is a seed drill. Next come to adding manure and fertilizers. This is one of the important step in agriculture. Like other plants, crop plants also obtain their minerals, nutrients from the soil. Continuous growing of crop in the field causes deficiency of mineral nutrients in the soil. So the manure is added to the soil to make up the deficiency of mineral nutrients. This process is called as manuring. Manure is prepared from cow dung, urine and other waste also. Then sometimes soil becomes deficient in a particular mineral nutrients. This happens when same crop is grown in the same field year after year. For example, a particular crop takes more phosphate. If this crop is grown in a field every year, the soil will become deficient in phosphorus nutrient. This type of deficiency of a particular nutrient is made up by adding chemical substances called fertilizers. For example, urea, superphosphate and NPK. NPK means which contains nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. This is the irrigation methods. That is methods of irrigation. There are two types of irrigation methods. One is a traditional method, another one is a modern method. You can see here the traditional methods which is followed earlier days. Nowadays the modern methods are following, that is furrow irrigation, basins, sprinkler irrigation, drip irrigation. Before this, Dhekli, chain pumps, Rahat and moats is used to do the agriculture. Next, protection from weeds. Here you can see that is what is weeds. Protection from weeds. This is the unwanted plants in the fields are called weeds. The seeds of these weeds spread through the agencies like air, water, birds and other animals. Weeds share water, sunlight, space, nutrients with the crop plants. Thus, they compete with the crop plants. Therefore, their removal is very necessary. Otherwise, these crop plants do not get sufficient space, water, sunlight and nutrient to grow healthier. So, weeds are weeded out either by hand or with the help of an implement called harrow nowadays. For checking the growth of weeds, certain chemicals are used. These chemicals are called weedicides such as 2,4-D. This is here you can observe the person who is spraying the weedicides. Next is harvesting. After growing crops, harvesting is a most important step. That is, harvesting of a crop is an important task. The cutting of crop after it is mature is called as harvesting. What is harvesting? The cutting of crop after it is mature is called harvesting. In harvesting, crops are pulled out or cut close to the ground. It usually takes 3 to 4 months for a cereal crop to mature. Means if a cereal crop is there, then it takes 3 to 4 months to mature. This is the traditional method, that is sickle is used to cut the crop. Nowadays the advanced technology is there, that is combined cutters are available by using the tractors. Next is the winnowing machine. Here the winnowing machine is used to harvest the crops. Next is storage. Here, the grains obtained after by threshing are dried in the open. The dried grains are stored in gunny bags and placed in properly ventilated cemented halls known as godowns. These farmers keep dried grains in jute bags or metallic bins or mud bins. Large scale storage of grains is done in silos and granaries. You can see here the silos and granaries. For storing large quantities of grains in big godowns, specific chemical treatments are used to protect them from pests and microorganisms. Food from animals. Animals are the important the living organisms which is used for a source of a food. That is called as animals are an important source of food. The rearing of animals for food is known as animal husbandry. Some animals like cows and buffaloes are reared for milk, others for meat like goats and poultry. Some people consume fish as a part of their diet. Honeybees are reared for honey. Thus, animals are an integral source of food and food products. Thank you. Okay, I hope you are all understand this topic. If you have any doubts, please call me and clarify your doubts. Thank you very much.